Hi, hello, and welcome to Capricorn Venus Tarot. This is Capricorn Venus. So today we're gonna see what is the first thing that they noticed about you. So like, what is the first thing that stood out about you to them? So it could have been after you guys met or like right away when you met. But yeah, this is the first like big thing that stood out about you though. So pile number 1 is Calypso Spiced Rum. Pile number 2 is the Crown Royal Regal Apple. Pile number 3 is the Jose Cuervo. And pile number 4 is Jack Daniels. So go and pick your pile and I will see you guys in there. And the wind is gonna keep whipping around. I tried to, close the windows tighter or something, but it's not happening. So you'll just have to deal with my atmospheric sounds here. Okay. All right, pile number 1. What is the first thing that stood out about you? I think you have a spice to you. You have a little kick. Like in the way that you speak, I think there's a little extra razzle dazzle. There's a little extra special sauce here with you, where it's like there's just a little bit extra than you had to do, or like a little bit different than whatever the normal is. So I don't know if because I'm kind of getting, maybe they met you in a setting where there are strict rules, or just like in a school setting, or like a workplace setting where, everybody has to wear a uniform, or everybody has to dress up for something. But it's like you do something that you didn't have to. You do the extra credit, or you do a little extra than you had to. Okay. Also, I think the way that you stand is very composed, and you have like a very strong stance, a very I'm here, I'm meant to be here energy to you. You could have good posture as well. You could seem almost like ready to get into something. I feel like you're not super dreamy, or maybe you are, but the first thing that stood out about you is how you seem very present. You seem in the moment. You seem ready to do whatever comes up. If it's have a conversation, then it's have a conversation, but no matter what, you just seem ready. You seem like tensed and ready to go, like you're just about to start a marathon or something. Okay, what is the first thing they noticed? I don't want to use this one. They could also notice you're very particular and you have like favorite items of clothing. They could have noticed that as well. Let's see, 9 of Cups and Judgment. Ooh, so they noticed your desires. Also, here, pile 1. Your desires are different than other people's. So if this is a romantic person, it could be that you have a different kind of type than they had seen before. But if this is in another way, I think you have different expectations of your world. What you like to see is different than what other people like to see. Again, I'm getting a classroom example, but I just think that that's like an easy way to frame this. But say that, today in class we have to watch a movie and everybody else is sad, but you're happy. So there's something about that they noticed first is like you disagreed with everyone else, or you enjoyed something that nobody else enjoyed. This used to happen in my family a lot because it was just like me and my mom liked artistic stuff and then everybody else didn't. So it's like something that went against, the crowd here. So you have opinions, or you have desires that go against the crowd. You want a different thing out of life. You want a different thing out of this class. You want a different thing out of this job than everyone else does. So yeah, there's something about that for sure. And again, there is this thing about you being awake, you being alert, you making eye contact. So I think your powerful eye contact might have also been one of the first things that they noticed about you. You're not one of those shy, put your head down types. It's more, you're looking someone straight in the eye. My boyfriend used to get in trouble with teachers sometimes for doing this because he would be kind of zoning out thinking about his work, but it helped him to concentrate when he would like look somebody directly in the eye. So he would like look the teachers directly in the eye. I still think you should do that. I don't know why he would get in trouble for that, honestly, but personally. But the High Priestess, you know something. I think another one of the first things that people or this person noticed about you is you seem to have a mission. You're going somewhere. You have expectations of this interaction. You have expectations of why you don't just do something for no reason. You always seem to have a reason. Now, do I know that reason? No. I might not know that reason, or maybe you will tell me that reason. But either way, you come into situations, you come into conversations, you come into any kind of environment, and you seem to know why you're there. I think another one of the first things that this person noticed about you, or like stood out about you, is that you had a lot more options than they perceived you to. So again, there's like this flip of maybe they thought they knew how you might react to a question or how you might react to a conversation starter or something like that, and you surprised them. I feel like you have surprised this person several times in a row. And so this is what is standing out about you, or this is the first thing that stood out about you to them. You're very deep. You have a lot of depth. And so this is unique. I think it just might be like a lot more than most people. It's not even to call other people shallow that this person knows, but you could be just especially deep. And mysterious. You do have a mysterious air because here we have the moon as well. Also, maybe they noticed you're a night owl, and that's different. One of the first things like I said, you have a pickiness to you. So maybe you won't drink a specific kind of drink. You'll only drink this brand. And so everybody has to make sure this brand is at the party, or else you don't even want to come or something like, or you could have like certain things you hate, oh, I hate sandalwood, like something about that, like you having these strong opinions. And these strong differences in your countenance, like the way you stand and walk and talk. I think you, like I said, you often surprise people in conversation, and this person both sees you surprise people in conversation and also was surprised by you. And I think you also had a lot more bite than this person thought when they first saw you. You might have an angelic, beautiful look about you, like this Calypso here, just like very beautiful, angelic, hair in the wind kind of vibe. But then you could have a lot of power. Your punch has a lot of kick or something, or like you've got a lot of, you have a spunky attitude here. There, like I said, there was a spice to you. A lot more power in the punch. So maybe you don't talk that much, but then the things you say really hit, really hit. Okay. Ooh, the Emperor. Oh my gosh, and look at his face there. I love that card. Oh, and Two of Cups. You know what, though? Pile one, I feel like something that stood out to them right away is they were surprised on how well you guys connected. How you could really meet them there. You really understood what they were talking about, or you could already read them. You do have a sense of like being able to read people and being able to meet them there on that level of just looking at them a certain way, and you both understand what's being said. Yeah, you're not afraid of eye contact. I think that was definitely a huge piece of it. It might have even startled this person a little bit. You have a way about you. Like you have a real delicacy way about you where you're very purposeful and delicate and specific, and you have your own thoughts and ideas on things, and you can also connect really well with others, and you can get a little wild too, because you have this fun, playful, exciting side to you as well. But then you almost seem like kind of a perfectionist or a workaholic, but in a different way than other people. They do say that some of the most successful people, they have, papers everywhere, but they always know where everything is. So like, don't come into their room and mess things up. Even if it looks a mess, it's like there's an order to things. I think you definitely engaged their desire though with the eye contact. Like, there was definitely a spark. I think that's one of the first things they noticed about you as well. Judgment again. Oh my gosh. Here's what's funny. I think you might have judged this person, and like had something to say about their actions. And maybe, I think, they didn't know why. I think another thing that stood out about you right away, pile number one, is that they don't know why you have the judgment that you do. You don't know, they don't know how you came to these conclusions. And also sometimes something that stands out about you is that you don't like to have to explain yourself all the time. Like, you're kind of against that. You think it's like a waste of time, or you can be a little bit impatient here of, why do I need to explain myself? Do you not understand what I'm saying? Or like you have a bit of that attitude of, well, you heard what I said and now I need to move on to the next thing. You can have this kind of scientific boredom of things where, well, I figured it out. I know what option I'm picking. I know what I like. And so case closed. I'm right. Case closed, and you have that kind of aura to you. So we're just doing like what first stood out about you, and that's what it was. You have that spark. You have that, special something that sets you apart. And I think this is your looks as well as the things you choose to say. You pack a heavy punch. And so you're easy to remember because of that. So it really did stand out to them how well you seem to know yourself as well. You got to where you wanted to go in a straight line, almost like, or you're very direct, but in a different way than they were used to. Yeah, you kind of have a fire sign punch to you of like, you're being very direct and clear, earth signy vibes, but with the no hesitation of a fire sign. You don't hesitate. Is there something else here? They think you are beautiful. So that isn't, they will reach out soon. Okay. Also, your beauty could have really stood out to them. So yeah, okay. Oh, what is the first thing? Okay, we want this one too. Python. This is the last one. This is the last one. One more. Yeah. So I think you definitely did surprise this person. You surprised them with your outfits too. And maybe they thought that you were going to be sweeter than you are. And again, your strong stance and how you really stand up for the things you love and how well you connected. Because that is coming up again. It's like maybe this person has a very high opinion of themselves. I think most people should. I mean, okay, that might be a stretch. I think some people should have a higher opinion of themselves because they're actually great. And I think this person is interesting and well deserving of their own high opinion of themselves. And so they were surprised at how admirable they find you. They look up to you a little bit, actually. And that did stand out to them. You know, maybe they don't meet a lot of people on their level who can meet them and go back and forth like that. So yeah, that is what I've got for you. Thank you very much. Definitely very attractive too. And here's that type thing. So you could be like a different type, and yet they were very attracted to you right away. So it's possible also this person had like a stronger type before getting to know you. But then I'm also sensing maybe you had a type and that did stand out to them. Or like you had something you liked to hear from people. Because it's not even a type like they're looking through your exes or something. It's more like you have a type of thing you like to hear, you know? A type of dynamic you like to engage with. Stuff that you want to learn, stuff that you're interested in. And you come out the gate with these preferences very strongly. And so it did stand out. So yeah, that is what I've got for you, pile number 1. Thank you very much. I'm going to link these down below and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me. Okay, pile number 2. So pile number 2, let's see. Okay, something that definitely stood out about you from the get-go is that you have almost a bossy quality. You naturally rise to the top. You naturally rise as the leader. You're the one who's very clear cut. And you're very step-by-step. I'm getting this image of you like arranging things on your desk and like you're arranging everything and you're like, you know, making sure it's all, you know, stable or whatever. And like, I want it to be like this, you know, and then it's easier to work with or something. I don't know. You could be very organized and this stood out to them right away. But even if it's not like actually organized, although I think for a lot of you it will be. Particular, but it's more than particular because it's like everything's spaced right. Almost like, You like to have like an inventory too. You're very organized, but there's like another word I'm trying to come up with because it's further than organized, but it's not like OCD because like that's something specific, but it's like point by point. You like to go through a checklist. You always need a to-do list. You like to see exactly what the tasks are. You could be like a very task-based person. And this stood out to them right away. You could also be like the one giving orders. And this stood out to them. It's almost like you set yourself apart on purpose. You like to be clean cut and kind of, you like to be the one in charge. But you're very magnanimous. You're not like super, you know, bullying or something like that. It's more you want to be team captain vibes here. Okay. Also, what stood out about you is that you're a very good listener. At the same time that you can be bossy or you can be the one in charge or the one taking charge, you are also a very good listener and you know when to be quiet and you know how to, you know, yeah, listen and pay attention to things. You can read the room. You know when you need to step up and you know when you need to step back. It's calming to have you around. That's another thing that stood out about you right away is like, you're kind of a calming presence. You stop things from getting too rowdy. You have like a preciousness to you of like, I'm gently setting down my bag. I'm gently setting down my pencil. I'm gently moving across the room. I'm softly, you know, making sure that each person knows what their role is here, you know, and you have a delicacy to that. Okay. What did they first notice or what first stood out about pile number 2? You could have really good diction as well. And the way you speak is, again, very clear, polished, kind of almost even bougie way of speaking. You could have like a really good phone call voice, you know, where like you pick up the phone and all of a sudden you're like, your whole tone changes. Oh, shoot. And there's a word for that too, and I'm not remembering it, where, yeah, tone shift or tone jumping or something. I can't remember what that phrase is. Anyway, what is the first thing that stood out about pile number 2? 1 is Aries. 11 is Aquarius. You're good by yourself and you're good in a group. I feel like you know how to work alone, but you're also good at like building people up and making sure everybody feels included. You seem self-taught as well. Yeah, you're a self-study here. You like to learn more than what is required of you. And also maybe you're used to doing extra work. Like you seem like that kind of person. Apple flavored whiskey. Also, it could have stood out that you have kind of a legacy, or it could have stood out like your history. Maybe you are a person who like wears something that has to do with like your country of origin or your, you know, background. And so this did stand out to people in general, but especially this person. They found it really interesting. They liked the pride that you took in either it's your heritage, your family history, your own personal history, like where you've been and what you've gone through or something. You have like a pride in your own backstory, a pride in your own history. That did stand out for sure. What at first stood out about pile number 2? Definitely the softness. I think the very first thing was definitely this gracefulness about how you walk and stand. You could like do one of those where you're walking, you have to keep the books on your head. You could have very stable posture that way or something. Or just like a grace to you, to the way you walk. And again, delicately putting things down. So this is like the very first thing they noticed about you before you even open your mouth. You like to move slowly and carefully. 6 of Cups. Yeah, you have memories that you must bring them up, or you must live with them on your shoulder in a way. Maybe you take a picture of your family everywhere you go, or there's something about that though. If you have a locket of your family members, that's so cute. Or like your partner or your kids or something. Or you could have a tattoo of your kids. Or you could have like memorial tattoos. Yeah, definitely. Confirmation if you have one of those, because that did stand out to people. And it automatically made them feel like you care and that you're a loving person. You also know how to keep optimism up even in a dark situation. So that's another thing that stood out about you, is you like to look on the brighter side. Knight of Wands. A lot of passion here. You like to keep it moving too. Oh, I don't think that's going to come back on. Look at this little delicacy though, in the way that she's like touching these candles, and you almost can be like always wanting to do something with your hands. I think also something that stood out right away about you, Pal, too, is that you like to gesticulate when you're talking, and when you get really involved in an idea, you might like talk more with your hands. Also, they couldn't guess your age. I think they could not guess your age. and they might have been surprised by your age. And they also didn't, maybe you approached this person. And usually they're the ones that have to approach. So that did stand out about you, that you approached first, that you're one to go out there and really care and like think about things. And you're the one to pursue a person, or maybe even who you decide to pursue also could have stood out. And who likes you has stood out to this person. I think you're very well loved, and this stood out. People naturally gravitate towards you, and this is something that they notice right away, that everybody likes to gravitate towards you, including like animals and kids, but you know, just everybody too. Even just naturally kind of turning themselves to you, or like people really pay attention when you speak, and you might not be very loud, so like they have to listen closely to hear what you're saying. So you enforce that peace and serenity. Like I said, things are not going to get out of control when you're around. So that is what I've got for you. Pile number 2. Let's go ahead and pull some music videos. American Horror Story. Oh, I said horror story, but I actually meant to say horror show. So Horror Story is that TV show. So yeah, what you like to engage with and what your hobbies are was also surprising. Yeah, who likes you? Your sensitivity did actually surprise. Ooh. Okay, so there is something about a relationship here. So that could have definitely surprised people about you. Anything else? For pile number 2, what's the first thing they noticed? You like to come in ready to go, and you're the one to get other people started, and you have, you know, things that you are, I don't know, you're kind of like clear about your expectations. You are not afraid to say what you like or what you don't like. And you're able to do it in a very charming way, but you are communicating your needs here. And you're also communicating who's important to you. You might have the love language of like words of affirmation, where you know what to say to make people interested in you, and yet you're also very sensitive. I think you can be rather sensitive, and that's surprising. Here's another couples traveling here. And this is like, has a lot of jewelry and things too. So there's like, again, the particularity. You could have expensive looking jewelry, you know, and that could surprise people. Or again, it's something about you surprising them is one of the first things they noticed about you. So that is what I've got for you. You'll get more messages in these music videos down below, and I will see you guys next time. Or I'll see you guys tomorrow, actually. Okay, pile number 3. So, let's get started. So annoyed that this thing now is falling over. Okay, so the first thing that stood out about you might be that you're a little bit clumsy here. You could put your foot in your mouth a little bit. Say the wrong thing. Pile number 3. You get away with stuff. You get away with stuff. I think you're hard to catch. I think maybe your speed surprised some people. Maybe you move on quickly from exes, and this is something they noticed and surprises people. Maybe also your exes and your history surprised people. Oh my gosh, I keep doing surprise people. So this is something that they first noticed about you was your surprising history and your surprising prowess maybe as well. You're a little bit fast here, pile 3. You're like a cutie on the run. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. You're kind of flirty. I'm getting goodies by Sierra. Just because I talk about it doesn't mean you're going to get any. You're funny, flirty, fun. You might talk really quickly. But I feel like also you could be startled. So something that stood out about you right away is though you have like kind of this bravado and you could be very flirty, like I said, you are thrown off by flirting. You are thrown off by that. You can still get tripped up. Okay. You still get swept away, even if you're like a veteran here. Stay back. Yeah, I mean, you could have like something where you use humor as a deflection, or you use humor as a way to get people to like keep their distance. A little bit afraid of intimacy, maybe. Maybe. I think another thing that stood out about you right away is your love of nature, though. How much you connect with nature, how interested you are by something beautiful or a natural splendor or something like that. You do have those that kind of energy to you. You almost seem like ravenous too. Like I said, fast. Like you're ready to move on. You're ready to do something interesting. You're ready to see something interesting. You want to be moving constantly. Maybe you never slow down. That's another thing people could notice about you, or stood out about you right away, is that you like to keep your distance but engage. So there's this like back and forth here. Like I said, you can be a little bit clumsy. Maybe you drop something in front of this person and they notice that. Or you did something accidentally, or there's something about that. They also, I feel like this person and also people in general, they notice that you have a mask on, so to speak, of like, and sometimes that mask slips and maybe you do an eye roll or something like that. But you do have a poker face. When people are being rude, or when it's kind of a annoying situation, like a workplace or something, where everybody's annoyed, everybody's in a bad mood, and you probably are as well. And maybe that slips through the cracks sometimes, but like you try not to break, like you keep a calm face most of the time. But maybe something that stood out is when you did crack. They really noticed that and how differently you look. Also, you're really sexy when you're annoyed. Like you look very sexy when you're annoyed or bothered or like pissed off. There is like a flush in your face and people are like sexually attracted to it. You have that static electricity thing where if you're frustrated, it's hard to not have it show. Maybe your hair gets a little wispier even. I definitely see the blush, the flush, and your facial expression is very cute when you're pissed off. Yeah, when you let it crack, or even when like nobody's supposed to laugh in this moment because it's a serious moment and like you're trying not to laugh, you also look really hot in that moment. So there's something about like when your mask slips, or when there's like a crack in the concrete here where I see what you really have been thinking, I'm really attracted to it. And so it really stands out, you know? I definitely think it's interesting as well if this is just somebody random. But yeah, for romantic people or people interested in you or just like flirty with you, like that's, you know, yeah, you get a little nervous. And I feel like you're good at hiding it, but when you can't hide it, I'm noticing that me as this person who's interested in you. Okay, so this might be a person about a person who's interested in you. If I stand a little too close, suddenly you're a lot more clumsy. And I'm noticing that. Why is it that if I look at you a little bit too long, now you're messing up your words? Maybe you like me. I think you like me. I gotta put Juice. I can't remember who it's by, but I'll put the music video down below because it's like, I think you like me. Yeah, so they might notice that you might be like trying not to show your interest or not wanting, or like you're just getting thrown off when they're too close, like something like that. Okay. What is the first thing that stands out about pile number 3? 6 is Virgo. Oh, another 6. 6, 6, 9. Damn, she fine. Let's do you one more time. I think you do have like boundaries up, and people notice this, but it also makes you sexy. So what they're noticing is how sexy you are, but the reason, I guess, is like you are very like strict. Okay. Like I said, gallery of those who came before. Oh my gosh. There could be people who are intrigued because of your exes, you know, and like they notice something about your exes, or they notice about ex-friends or people in your past. They could be noticing similarities to these people, or they could be noticing something that you like, or what are they noticing? You like the winners? There's something about that where you like a winner, and they notice this about you. They're noticing about you, or like the first thing they notice about you is how you expect greatness over here. It's got to be good. Love crows love and fearful worlds. There is this sense of like you getting irritated, or you just being like, I am trying to block this out right now. Like this is grating on my nerves. So you could be that kind of person who's always a little bit irritated at work, unless you're having fun with your favorites here. Yeah, they could also notice how you light up when somebody you like comes in the room, or like you light up when you're actually enjoying the conversation or something. Like you kind of have a totally different look about you. Everything you need too soon. That's what I was saying. Like they could notice that you almost don't like it when somebody's too nice to you or something. Or like you don't know how to respond when things are good. Yeah, so there could be people noticing that, oh man, your ex must have been an asshole or something. Or like something like that. Because you have this real playful side, but then also a very strong boundaries. And so this is something people notice. I think another thing people notice about you though is that you can be very like optimistic at the same time. So it's kind of funny that you have like this dueling natures in a way of like, you can be very optimistic, even to the point of like delusional, but like in that fun fire sign way of like just going straight for things. Or when you like someone, you get really, really invested. Another thing they first notice about you, or what first stands out, is like once you, well, that you're like always ready to leave. If this is a job or like class or something, this is really funny because I have been getting that energy of like you are like ready for the bell to ring, or you know, you get really restless and you don't like to just be sitting there. You like to be like fidgeting or like moving around or being active. You don't want to just relax. You would rather be working, actually. And then I'm also noticing, or like the first thing people notice, or this person notices, is like once you get talking, you love to talk. You could love to talk, but like you mostly keep quiet because you only trust certain people. You're not one to trust easily. You are not one to trust easily. But once you do get talking, you're really funny. I love talking to you. You're very charming. Like I said, you could be kind of an old pro. You're like somebody who really knows how to flirt and kind of dip dodge. I'm getting Sagittarius energy from you here of like you could flirt with a whole room and then like leave, and you know, 7 are heartbroken over here. So that is what I've got for you. Pile number 3, that's what they first noticed about you. Anything else? Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to, and I'm glad we got this card because I was sensing that about you. You're gonna keep going until you complete whatever you're doing. You have a lot of passion, a lot of action. You'll be a great coworker. It's just that you have a little bit of an attitude. You're very hardworking. You're very diligent. And you know how to complete a goal, complete a task, get things done. You're very smart and powerful, but like strong too, because you have like this endurance. But yeah, your attitude's pretty funny and cute, and you're hot. Okay. Yeah, very Nicki Minaj vibes in this pile for sure. Ready for it. Yeah, I mean, they could notice that. Oh, okay. So this is not a naive individual with no experience. Like you know how to play the game. It's not going to be it's not new to me. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's the kind of thing. Okay, what is the first thing? These are interesting settings. So maybe people also could notice you out in public and the way you walk and how you kind of walk with a swagger or something here, or like walk with like a nice swing in your hips here. And people do notice that. They could also notice your outfits. I don't need to marry a rich man. I am a rich man. Another Nicki Minaj. People felt a very strong connection to you right away. And you get the people going. What does it mean? I don't know, but it gets the people going. So yeah, I'm going to link these down below. You'll get some more messages in there. Thank you very much. Pile number 3. And I will see you next time. Okay. Pile number 4. Last but not least. Let's see with pile number 4. Okay, they want me to do the music videos first, so we're going to shuffle a little. What was the first thing that stood out about pile number 4 to this person? Like, what was the first thing? Wow, okay. Oh my gosh, okay. Sexual chemistry on 1,000 here. Maybe that's why we needed to do music videos first. Ooh. Yeah, the sexual chemistry here is pretty wild. Anything else? No, we're gonna keep it here. Okay. What's the first thing that stood out about pile number 4 to this person? I almost get a sense of like, they felt an instant connection to you. They felt that you guys were very compatible right away. It was like the first thing that stood out to them is, I'm addicted to this person right away. This person felt addicted to you right away. Like wanting to follow you around, wanting to just hang out with you, really allowant of you as well. Like this person noticed that they were very allowant with you. Like you were allowed to say whatever you wanted to them, and they didn't feel offended, and they didn't feel like their feelings stood out to them first. Like they felt very attracted to you and very invested in you from the get-go. I think your body had a lot to do with it, but there's also like this sexual chemistry aspect of when you were saying things to them, they were getting something else from it, you know? Like they were really reading in between the lines with you right away. And they right away, they liked your perspective. They felt like you could see them. You could see through them, you know, of like you saw when they were being a brat or like acting whatever type of way. You noticed that. And maybe people don't usually notice that, or they just ignored it when they saw this person do it. They just, they didn't engage with it or something. But I think it's more that they didn't notice. Maybe this person has a smart mouth and they're good at like the double entendre so that nobody knows they're being insulted or something like that. And they could notice about you that you read them correctly right away. And most people don't correctly read them right away. And also that you could keep up and that you kind of put them in their place here. Of you might also have that talent of the double entendre and nobody knows what you're saying except for you. It's like a joke to yourself. They noticed that you had these little jokes to yourself. Like nobody else was going to get it if they weren't paying as much attention as this person. But you still said it or you still got a kick out of it. They noticed that you like your own company. You're your own star. You're like playing to a room of one in a way. What first stood out about pile number 4 to this person? 10 is Capricorn. They feel like you were being fake. Like, I think that is the first thing that stood out about you to them, is that they felt like you were being fake. Like you were pretending to be this goody two-shoes when you were actually much more loud, brash, even like prideful or rude or like full of yourself. But you're pretending to be demure and you're pretending to be like humble here to get something. It's almost like they were right away kind of studying you because they felt this immense attraction to you. They felt like you could see them really well. This was a very exciting moment for them to meet you. So yeah, I feel like it stood out to them that they felt like you were being fake. And they were getting a kick out of it. They liked to see these little it's funny because this person also might be laying it on a little bit thick. I don't think you were being that fake. Maybe it's a different side to you, but it's like they were reading you so much and they had all this sexual connection with you that these like casual conversations you're having with friends seem fake to them. Probably you've seen this dynamic, but if you haven't, that happens a lot where it's like the romantic interest feels like they're the only ones that are getting to the heart of things here. True and not true, right? But that's how they felt. Is like when you guys interacted, that was the real you. And they could kind of get it out of you. I think this person felt this intuitive like need to kind of crack you open or to get you to crack. They might have been teasing you a lot or something when you guys first met because, again, they just felt like this perfect, Little Miss Perfect thing was fake or this Mr. Perfect thing was not real. And they just wanted to see if they were right or kind of get it out of you in a way. Link these down below, but let's keep going. Yeah, it's like they noticed your attitude, but I don't think you were giving attitude. It's just that they could read it from you. This is a very cute dynamic here, I'm sensing. Like, I feel like you guys right away almost could read each other here. Is that what you were trying to do? Or were you trying to da-da-da-da-da? Like something about that. What are you trying to get out of them? Or like, what are... They're dishonest. Yeah, they're almost giving you the side eye, but like in a fun, flirty way. I feel like that's the first thing they noticed about you is like they're kind of giving you the side eye. Or maybe you are also giving them the side eye of why are you like pushing me? I said what I said. Like, stop trying to ruin my plan here. You can even have that energy with this person of, I'm doing what you asked, so leave me alone, you know? Or like, you could get irritated because it's almost like they're interrupting you, trying to be charming to other people because they think it's fake. This is a past life connection. Yeah, I mean, I think the intense connection that you two shared right away, there's a fake person around them, was something that they noticed right away. There's a fake person around them. They think you're magical. See, you guys had one of those connections where you said something that really related to something that was in their life that you had no way of knowing. So that's something that they noticed right away is, wow, they just said something that was like exactly having to do with my life and they have no idea. Be present, use the hours, don't count them. Another thing they noticed right away about you is that you were not eager to leave. You were not eager to get done with something. I am getting a work thing here where you liked to be at work or you liked to be present. And you wanted to be focused on the task at hand. Again, with this like little Miss Perfect vibe here of almost like always remembering when the homework was due, or always taking notes, or this is how we're supposed to open in the morning, so these are the steps, and I know what is expected of me here, and I want to make sure everyone's on task. You can also be kind of a taskmaster, and they did notice this. You have your mask here, and again, this is how they're phrasing it. This is what they noticed about you right away. It was like your mask is almost very serious, sour, in a way of like, you know, ready to snap. But then what they think of you is as a kind of party person, you know, someone who likes to have a lot of fun and likes to be the star of the show, likes the attention. And so it's funny to them. And they're watching this and they're like, but you want the attention. Why are you acting like they're analyzing you? This person has had a huge crush on you right away. Like, just genuinely. Surprises, venture down the rabbit hole. Yeah, they became like very immediately obsessed with you. Release, lighten your load. And you're not one to give up work to other people. You don't like help. You don't like help. You don't like assistance. Oh yeah, and we did get tomboy. So there could be something where if this is a man and you try to open the door, or you try to be like chivalrous with them or something like that, they don't like that, or vice versa. I can do it myself. Like, you have that attitude, and they did notice that right away. It's like the I can do it myself attitude, but they're like, why? I want to help. I want to hang out with you. It's kind of flirty that way. Like, everything I'm noticing about this and everything they're noticing about you is from a very flirty lens. It's almost like also they were noticing that you pretend not to be competitive, or you seem like, oh, I'm just a hippie. Like, I just want peace, love. I want everyone to get along. But their interpretation of you is actually that you're very competitive and that you do want to win. And maybe this just supports you winning in some way. Okay. I think another thing that stood out about you to them right away is you might not know exactly what you want to do. You could have a lot of ideas about where you want to go in life and what you want to experience in life and the kind of different ways you'd like to live. But maybe you're doing something in particular already. So that they're kind of reading this off of you of you never know what you're going to get. But you're trying to present yourself as a very straightforward, reliable type. So that, again, maybe even a job interview where you're coming across as this like reliable, straightforward type, but they're reading off of you this flirty, fun party vibe. And so it's kind of a funny like back and forth. And I'm sure you are very reliable. And it could have even surprised them how reliable you are. Because again, they feel like, I don't know, it's almost like they feel like they've known you before, or like they know you better than everyone else. You stood out to them in a major way. You're their favorite. Ooh, okay, so you're their favorite. Interesting. That kind of gives me the vibe that this person is like a playboy, playgirl type or something. And like you stood out to them right away as their favorite, the one they have the most chemistry, the person that they have the most chemistry with. Okay. This person is very much about chemistry. A Don Juan. But they read that in you too. And again, they think it's fake when you act innocent or naive. They don't believe it. They don't believe it at all. They think you're a predator, you know, like you're the one scouting, or you're the one, you know, who's in control, who's pretending to be an angel. Pretending to be an angel, but you got a little devilish side here. Maybe get, you know, have a few shots of whiskey, and then we'll see where you're at. A few shots of Fireball, then we'll see where you're at. Yeah. They noticed right away that you're able to trust fall. You're able to jump right in and just believe it's going to work out. It's just funny the things that this person is thinking, but something that they noticed right away is, it's almost like they feel like you're not as anxious as you seem or something, or you might have to just like pretend to worry because that's what everyone feels. I think this is the type of person that would bet on you right away. They bet on you. It's like they saw you, and no matter what kind of face you were putting on, they bet on you being the star of the class, the employee of the month, the one that was going to get to where they needed to go. The one with a lot of ambition. But they didn't they didn't know, and they were surprised by the fact that you actually do a lot of work. So you aren't flighty. So it's funny because they initially had this very like, they just saw you as a star right away. And so when you did actually end up having all of these things on your plate and completing them and not wholly focused on fun all the time, they were surprised by that. Now, they were right about your persona, like your personality. What's funny is like they did notice that they were still right. You still can get down, and you still know what you're doing, and you still can get a little crazy, and you like to have your fun, and you can be a cherry bomb, sucker punch kind of fun attitude here. And you do like the attention, and you do like the accolades from your success. But what they weren't expecting is that you do also have this side to you where it is that serious. And you know how to get serious for your goals, and you know how to actually make it happen. And maybe you can be like, almost like materialistic, or really wanting your high achievement. And that's not exactly how they perceived you at first. And it was a surprise to realize, no, you want the money too. Or like you want the fame, but you want the money too. Like something about that. The Lovers. Your choices do surprise this person. And the quickness with which you make those decisions. But they did notice how right away, like they notice your capacity for something really passionate. Like they noticed right away this chemistry, this passion, the connection you guys shared, and how it could be this like blow up huge kind of romance moment, or something very intense and even like toxic or something. And they can read that, and they did notice that right away, how you guys have that dynamic. So they're aware of it, which goes towards, yeah, they're aware of it, but I think you're also aware of it. And maybe we're avoiding this person. Because of that, you're like, no, I'm not getting into this. I'm not doing this. And they might have found that really funny. So yeah, that is what I've got for you. Pile number 4, what they first noticed about you. I think also they noticed your hair. I'm telling you, this person was extremely attracted to you the moment they saw you. It was like love at first sight for them, even before you open your mouth. Yeah. And they do love your voice as well. And again, it's almost like a physical response this person has to you, where they're like, okay, let's be friends then. Anything to get more of your time, anything to get more of your attention, anything. Like this person, that's how they felt. And so they noticed that right away, is like they were feeling like, I'll do anything to get this person's attention. I would show up to their work unannounced with 100 roses. Like I would go that far for this person. Yeah, this person noticed in themselves the inclination to want to get a little crazy about you here. They are competitive, yeah. And also they noticed how jealous they get when you're talking to anybody. It does not have to make sense. It does not have to, like you're talking to an old man and you smile at this old man and your fake customer service smile, and they have a problem with it almost. And they're noticing that within themselves. Why? I mean, I know this person is a star. They're like the apple of my eye. This is what they're thinking. They were thinking all these things. So yeah, that's what I've got for you. I'm going to link those music videos down below. You'll get some extra messages there. Thank you very much, pile number 4. Definitely leave me a like, a comment, and I will see you next time.